Hi everyone, Betty Ann Loria here, EFT practitioner, certified with EFT International. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, tapping. And I have posted another video earlier. If you want to get some more information about what tapping is, I will go into it a little bit here. It's been a while since I posted a video. You know, this virus has really brought out a lot of emotions in people. And I've had to deal with some serious issues myself, and I use tapping to help me get through it, and I'd like to help you do the same thing. EFT can ease your fears, your overwhelm, your anxiety, any of the emotions that this virus has brought out. You know, there was an article in the New York Times recently about healthcare workers, and they reported having feelings of abandonment, grief, and feeling inadequate. And there's also, you know, people on the front lines like other healthcare workers like EMTs and drivers, postal workers, people in the grocery stores that take care of us every day. They're all feeling these feelings too. But how about the rest of us? What's going on with you, and how are you feeling? Well, EFT can help us all, and that's why I wanted to do a tapping with you today. And here's just a quick wrap-up of how it works. EFT works by tapping on the meridian endpoints. And what that does is it sends a calming signal to the brain. Chemically, what's happening is your stress hormones are diminishing, like cortisol and adrenaline. That not only calms you, but it also strengthens your immune system. And boy, we could all use that right now. Meridians are those energy channels that run throughout our bodies, just like our blood vessels. And it carries our chi, which is our energy. And when there's an energy blockage, illness can occur. EFT helps to break up those blockages. And it's like rebooting your system. It's like a computer. So let's do a sample session. I'm just going to use the word overwhelm. And while we're tapping, I'll show you the points again. You don't have to remember them because I will do them for you and you can just repeat after me. So first we're going to tap on the side of the hand. Sometimes people call it the karate chop point, with a few fingers just below the knuckle of your pinky. And here's where we say what's called the setup statement, and we repeat it 3 times. So just repeat after me and I'll give some time. Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm feeling really anxious, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. And even though I'm feeling so overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Okay, and then we go around the points. The first one is the eyebrow point, right where your eyebrow begins. You take 2 fingers, and you can do it on this side or this side. It doesn't matter. The energy channels will run down both sides. They run everywhere, but it doesn't matter what side you use. Or you can do both. So just repeat after me. This overwhelm. Next point, end of the eyebrow, side of the eye. This overwhelming feeling. Next point, below the eye, right on the bone. This anxiety. Nose, between the nose and the upper lip. Feeling so overwhelmed. Chin, right between the chin and the lower lip. This overwhelm. Collarbone. You can find this point by finding the U in your sternum, just going down about 1.5 inches and to the right or the left, and you'll feel a little indentation and it might even feel a little sore. This overwhelming feeling. Under the arm, about 4 inches from your armpit, and once again you can do both, and if you don't like doing it this way you can reach over and do this. Feeling so overwhelmed. Top of the head. So overwhelmed. Take a deep breath. While we were tapping, some of you might have thought of a more specific situation for yourself that you'd like to tap about. And because that's what happens when you start tapping. Your unconscious hears and starts giving you little messages. And so think about that. Think about a certain situation that you'd like to tap about. If nothing came to you, don't worry, because I'm going to give you some time to think about it now. Take a deep breath and think about it. What's going on with you right now? Maybe someone's ill. That would be the situation. And you're feeling really anxious about that because you can't get to them. That's the emotion. Maybe your child is crying because they don't want to do that work the teacher left for them and you have to do it with them. That's the situation. And you're feeling frustrated. That's the emotion. So think about your own situation and your own emotion. And if you want, go ahead and pause the tape and come back when you've got that for yourself. Okay, so hopefully you've got a situation and an emotion. I just want to remind you that when we tap, we're tapping on your emotions and how you can work with those. We're not tapping about trying to change someone else's behavior. It's very important to understand. Okay, so another thing, besides your trigger, which would be the situation and your emotion, let's just scan our bodies right now. Think about this situation that you have. And scan your body. You can close your eyes if you want. Where are you feeling it in your body? Maybe it's a tightness in your throat, or maybe in your chest, or maybe in the back of your neck, or your back, or sometimes in your tummy. Now, not everybody feels it in their body. Don't worry if you're not feeling it. Okay. Now we're about to start tapping, but we have one more thing to do. Feel that emotion again in your situation. Think about it. And decide what intensity level you're feeling it at, from a 0 to a 10. 10 would be the most intense feeling, and 0 would be no intensity at all. And don't worry about what number it is. What's the first number that popped in your head when I asked you that question? That would be the number. It's just to help you later when we check in. Okay, so we're going to start tapping, and I'm going to say the word overwhelmed. But if that's not your emotion, say your emotion. And then when I say feeling overwhelmed about this situation, instead of the word situation, say what your situation is. And if you find that you can't put that situation into words, then just think about it. Because once again, your mind is always listening, and you will get the benefit from the tapping, just by tapping and saying the emotion. Okay? All right, so here we go. Starting on the side of the hand. Even though I'm feeling so overwhelmed about this situation, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I'm feeling so overwhelmed about this situation, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. And even though I'm feeling so overwhelmed, and I'm feeling it in my tummy, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Okay, eyebrow point. So overwhelmed. Side of the eye, this situation. Under the eye, I don't know what to do. Nose, so overwhelmed. Chin, this situation. Collarbone, I'm feeling it in my under the arm, so overwhelmed. Top of the head, this situation is making me feel so overwhelmed. Eyebrow point, continuing. I want to help so much. Side of the eye, myself and others. Under the eye, so much responsibility. Nose, I'm so overwhelmed. Chin, feeling so uncomfortable in my tummy. Collarbone, just want to be okay. Take a deep breath here. Underarm, there's so much to do. Top of the head, feeling so overwhelmed. Stop tapping, take a deep breath. Now check in. How much are you feeling that emotion right now? How intense is it between 0 and 10? Did that intensity level go down at all? Did it go up? Sometimes it does, and that's not anything to worry about. It means the energy is moving. Sometimes you need to bring the issue to the forefront in order to work on it some more. It's just like sometimes on a computer, you have to highlight a whole passage before you can delete it. So that's okay. Now if I were working with you individually, we would keep tapping. We would try and get that number down to almost a 0. And sometimes when we tap, other issues come up. You might have started to tap on one general emotion, and then you start narrowing it down to other things. But since we can't do that, I'd like to do a closure round of tapping with you. Okay? So let's go. On the side of the hand, even though I'm feeling a little bit still overwhelmed, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. And even though I'm still feeling a little overwhelmed, I know I'm okay. And even though I'm still feeling this feeling a little bit, I know I'm doing the best I can. Eyebrow point, still feeling some overwhelm. Side of the eye, but I'm okay. Under the eye, still feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Nose, I'm doing the best I can. Chin, still feeling a little overwhelmed. Collarbone, I know I'll get through this. Take a deep breath here. Still feeling a little overwhelmed. Underarm. Top of the head. But I'm okay, and I'm proud of myself. Stop tapping, take a deep breath. Check in. How do you feel? What's your intensity level? Now that you know a little bit about how tapping works, you can do this on your own. The next time you're feeling any kind of an emotion and you don't know what to do, start tapping. Even if you can only remember one point, my favorite one is the collarbone point. Just tap there and talk about what's bothering you, and you'll see, you'll feel better. Thank you so much for joining me. Please email me, give me a call if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, stay safe and keep tapping.